Hi, I'm Stuart. Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back. Thanks for viewing my video. In this video, I'm going to do the Get to Know My Taste tag. I was tagged in videos by Reney at Beyond Books WT5IL and Pat at Book Chat with Pat 8668. I repeat what they said to properly credit the creator of this tag. This is an original tag created by Samantha at Thoughts on Tomes and by Mary at My Name is Mary Ness. There are 16 questions in this tag. The first question is, how do you rate books? Give a quick rundown on how you do your star ratings, or if you don't use star ratings, how you evaluate books. I rate books mainly on how I feel about them. I don't take into consideration literary merit, critical acclaim, or anything like that. It's just how I feel about them. 5 stars means I love the book. 4 stars means I like the book a lot. 3 stars means the book's okay. It's the minimum level of a book that I liked. Although occasionally a 3 star may be a book that I didn't really like, but it provides something else. So I rated 3 stars. But it is the minimum level of a book that I consider worth reading for me. 2 stars is I don't like the book that much. I've never actually rated a book 1 star. I'm not a super critical person, so most books that I read at least are 3 stars and I like them. And Storygraph, where I rate my books, I also rate them out. I rate my books on Storygraph and Fable. They allow quarter ratings. Quarter ratings just give me a little granularity. Say a book is a little more than a 4 star, but not a 5 star. It could be 4.25, 4.5. Or a little short of 5 star, it might be 4.75. I think mostly I just go half ratings, but sometimes I go quarter ratings too. The second question is, how do you approach reviewing books? What's your review style? Are you analytical, emotional, casual, or structured? I first give a short summary of the book. I then talk about the things I like about the book. I talk about the things I don't like about the book. I talk about issues people may have with the book, such as graphic spice, violence, abuse, etc. Things that I think people might not like. Basically giving content warnings. Occasionally I do that occasionally I give a spoiler if there's something I really think is important, but I do tell people I'm going to give the spoiler, and I put a text in the lower left corner of the screen saying spoiler, so they'll know when it starts and when it ends. I then give my star rating. So back to what the question says, part of the question, I would say I'm analytical and structured in my reviews. And I will say too, although I give star ratings, I don't think star ratings in of themselves really offer all that much. I do them because both Storygraph and Fable have them. I'm not sure if I have to do them, but because they're there, I do them. But I really think an actual written review provides a lot more than just star ratings. The third question is, what's the book that made you a reader? Whether it was your first favorite or the one that got you hooked, what book started it all? I can't really pinpoint a book. I've been reading books probably about 60 years. I do remember really loving the Hardy Boy series. I read a lot of those books. I'm guessing maybe grammar school, junior high, when I read them. So those were, I think, the first books I remember loving books. The Hardy Boy series, the original series. Fourth question, do you have a genre niche? Are there certain genres you gravitate toward, or do you read widely across genres? I don't have a genre niche, and I have to admit that may be a problem for getting people viewing my videos, because it's, I think, beneficial if somebody has a dominant genre, so people go to that channel and they'll hear somebody talk about the genre, but I don't have a dominant genre. Per Storygraph, my top 5 genres in the 3+ years I've been on there are in order: fantasy, horror, contemporary, romance, and classics. My top genre is fantasy, and that genre though is only 18%. That genre is only 18% of the books I read, so you can see it's not a dominant genre. It's not even 20%. The 5th question is, do you generally prefer character-driven or plot-driven stories? Prefer character. Story needs both, of course, just because there's a lot of detail given about the characters and the plot isn't any good. It's not worth it. But a book without character and just plot, I can enjoy it. But the reason I like characters, I like to know where the people in the book are coming from. So that's why I put character first, even though you definitely need both. The 6th question is, what's a book you love so much you don't care if others don't like it? What's the one book you love enough for everyone? Well, The Honeys by Ryan LaSala is a book that I don't care if others don't like. And they may not like it because there's some characteristics in this book that people don't like. The lead character is a trans character. It's YA. It's horror, and it gets weird. So all those things are things that people may not like. But I love the book. It was actually a very popular book, but I think there's lots of people that wouldn't like it either for various reasons. Book that I love enough for everyone is Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Wang. It was my top book of 2024. A lot of people like that book too. But the 7th question is, what's the book you love so much that if someone doesn't like it, you know your reading tastes don't align? The book or books where a difference of opinion is a strong indicator of different reading preferences. One book that might indicate that is if a person doesn't like The Music of Bees by Eileen Garvin. There may be some misalignment. This is just a really good found family story, and if a person read this book and didn't like it, I would kind of maybe think perhaps they're a little hard-hearted. Maybe there's a misalignment there. As far as a book or books where the difference of opinion is a strong indicator, there probably is some, but because I don't have dominant genres, the only thing I can think of is if someone, their reading indicated we had a strong difference on, say, some political hot button topic, and maybe that's it, but that would more indicate maybe we're not really compatible with each other. Not necessarily reading taste, because it's still going to be in what, there's still going to probably be genres we could have in common. Maybe just something different. Our likes, that our beliefs that maybe I don't want to. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to associate with the person, or they might not want to associate with me. The 8th question is, what's in your trash pocket? What's books, tropes, or themes that you know are bad but you love them anyway? I have recently started reading romanticy books, and a lot of people think the books and the tropes in them are bad, and I don't really agree with that. I don't think they are bad, but a lot of people think that. I haven't read books. I know I could name some tropes that people do think are bad, and I might think are bad too, but haven't read any of those yet. I just mentioned romanticy books because they're massively popular, but massively derided too. But I don't think they're necessarily bad for me. If a character who was misogynistic, racist, abusive, or some other characteristic I didn't like, is written as a character I'm supposed to like, that's a turn off. I mean, I certainly encounter those characters in books, but if they have those characteristics and it's clear to me that I'm supposed to like them despite that, that's really a turn off. A really graphic essay scene may be something I can't stomach. I have read some of those, and sometimes I just can't stomach them. And although I don't recall reading this, someone who was fetishizing an essay scene, that would be a real turnoff. But I can't recall reading any of those. The 10th question is, what's a strong opinion you have about a book released within the last year? Whether it's overrated, underrated, or just a take you need to share. I've talked about this a little bit. I haven't even reviewed it yet on my channel. I'm going to do that soon. But I just finished The Pairing by Casey McQuiston, and there was so much talk of gourmet food that it kind of got boring to me after a while. It was tedious. So I'm not going to say the book was overrated. It was just an example. It's sometimes the book and me, the reader, are going to not totally jibe. The 11th question is, what do you look for in writing? What makes a book stand out to you? Is it prose, style, themes, voice, structure, or something else? The number one thing is having characters written with depth, so I understand what they're doing, their motivations. I don't notice, say, great prose as much as I should. It's something I should notice more. And I can't say that as far as voice goes, I prefer first person, but I'm okay with third person too. The only thing I do have a little problem with as far as voice, as far as if you have a whole bunch of characters, too many characters, and you got too many perspectives, it can be hard for me to keep track of. The 12th question is, how do you decide what to read next? Do you plan ahead, mood read, or follow external factors? Hype, recommendation, arcs. The main source of my choices is book club picks. I'm currently a member of 5 book clubs, although one of them is bi-monthly and one of them seems to be inactive now. But that's the number one source of my book choices, is the book club choices. Some you get to vote for, some you don't, but of course, just because you get to vote for them doesn't mean they're my choices. Actually, there's only one since I started doing book clubs, which was the latter part of last year, that I haven't liked. After the book club choices, it's mood reading. It's just what I feel like reading. And because I don't want to plan beyond the book clubs, because book clubs kind of restrain my reading sometimes a little more than I'm comfortable with. No one forces me to do them, of course, but they do choose my books more maybe than I'd like a little bit. The 13th question is, where do you get inspiration for your booktube content? What sparks your video ideas, other creators, trends, personal reading experience? I get the ideas for my videos from other booktubers. I haven't really had any original ideas for my videos. I do weekly wrap-ups, I do tags, I do book hauls, I do book reviews. So there's nothing that I've come up with that is really remotely innovative or new. I do get, beyond the book club books, I do get a lot of the inspiration for the books I get from booktuber videos. Matter of fact, that's by far the biggest inspiration at this time. The 14th question is, if you could make any book go viral right now, what would it be? Book you think deserves more attention and why? This is kind of a hard one, and I'm not really sure how much attention this book has gotten, but I'd like to see All Hallows by Christopher Golden go viral Halloween season. I think it's a really good Halloween book to read, or in my case, I listened to the audiobook. I recommend that too. A lot of the books I read are pretty popular. so they kind of maybe already are gone viral. The 15th question is, who are some booktubers or reading tastes similar to yours? Say up front, this is not an exhaustive list, but I'm just going to name a few that that I get good suggestions from, and there's a whole bunch more, but these booktubers, at least there's you know, at least a genre overlap. Nicole at Nicole's Bookish Nook has similar taste in horror and fantasy. Jen at Literally Love 123 has similar taste in horror. I get a lot of suggestions for nonfiction books from Justin at Trumful Reads. It's not always similar taste initially, it's just I see stuff in his videos that makes me aware of stuff I didn't even necessarily consider or even was aware it was around. I have similarity with the taste in YA of Sui at Sui's Book Banter. There's overlap in fantasy from Maeve at Maeve_ever-reading. And there's overlap in horror and sci-fi from Pat at Book Chat with Pat 8668. Interestingly enough, those are new genres for her. And there's overlap in horror from Cliff at Cliff's Dark Gems. As I said above, that's just a few of them. There could be more. Always a little hesitant to answer these questions because I'm sure I'll miss people, but I wanted to give some. Oh, and one more is there's a good amount of overlap in horror with John at Disquiet and Dragons. The 16th question is to tag others. First, if you're watching this video, consider yourself tagged. If you'd like to answer one or more of the questions in a video of your own, please do so and tag me. Or if you'd like to answer one or more of the prompts in my comments, please do so. I found this particular tag good food for thought, so thanks to Renee and Pat for tagging me, and thanks to Samantha at Thoughts and Tomes and Mary at My Name is Mary Ness for creating this tag. I am going to tag a bunch of people. I'm tagging Nix, Smitty, Kayla, Milena, Maeve, Nick, Heather, Brian, Fred, Flossie, Justin, Felix, Hannah, Jen, Sui, Daniela, Cliff, Philip, Elaine, Nigel, Kevin, and Kelly. Again, if this is something you'd like to do, think you could find interest in, I think you probably would. Hope you have a wonderful reading week. I hope you have a wonderful week in general. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please subscribe, please hit the bell to get notified when I upload future videos.